What's up, my fellow comic book readers? Guys, I got 6 different comics from 6 different publishers. If you watched my short already, sorry I'm repeating myself. If not, you're in for a treat, because I got 4 good comics. Let's start off with the best of them, though. Sisterhood, issue number 2, a Hyde Street Story from Ghost Machine and Image. This was just absolutely amazing. I'm not normally into horror, but Ghost Machine and Image really have a special way. They've been doing Hyde Street, and this is a spin-off of Hyde Street. It's a Hyde Street Story. They've been killing it. These 2 girls, they grow up, something really traumatic happens when they're kids, and it brings them together, and they consider each other sisters, all the way up to the point where they're going to college together, they're dorm roommates, and yada, 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 right? Something really horrible, and this happened in issue 1, so hopefully I'm not spoiling too much of it. Something really horrible happens to the upside-down sister here in the picture. She dies. And then, the other one is kind of lost without her because they've done everything together. And then she starts seeing the dead sister, like in mirrors and windows and just throughout life, and seeing her, and the sister's trying to convince her to do really horrible things. And that's what this issue is more about. And, at first she's like, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And then she, does the whole, like, if you're not going to help me out, then I'm leaving you. And she disappears. And that kind of forces her hand to start working towards the horrible thing, Although she's not doing anything horrible, she starts to go along with what she's telling her to do. And at the end of this issue, something horrible happens and she's around it. She doesn't necessarily, I don't think she did it, but something horrible happens at the end of issue 2. And it was my most anticipated comic of the week. It's definitely in my top 3. It might be my number 1. I haven't really sat down and been like, did I like this or Absolute Superman or this is definitely a must read for this week. If you're not reading Sisterhood right now, I need you to wake up, pick up 1 and 2 and start reading them. They're fantastic. Speaking of pretty solid, Godzilla Escaped the Deadzone. IDW is doing something really great with the Godzilla universe. They have Godzilla by itself, and it's kind of about humans versus kaiju, and there's a group of humans that have kaiju powers, is what it's called. Kaiju powers is just kaiju powers inside of a human, right? This one doesn't really focus on the kaiju powers, but there's a dead zone in Oregon, I believe it is, and this guy is human and kaiju mix, and there's a whole lore about this guy that's like half kaiju, he's a monster, and blah, 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 and this guy is kind of like sitting around listening to these people talk about how horrible this guy is, and they're like, what do you think about it? And he's like, I think it's all wrong, and then he stands up and his tail wags, and he's like, the tail's just for balance. But I thought it was pretty cool. He's out battling, I think he has to go get over like the whole, like, he's a monster thing that the humans think, and then also he's battling against kaijus and trying to figure out how to survive in the dead zone. And I thought this was just a great issue. I definitely recommend it, especially if you're into the Godzilla universe. IDW and Godzilla, can't go wrong. Anything with Godzilla and IDW universe, I would pick it up and read it. Next up, we got Cul-De-Sac. I'm doing these from first to worst. So those are definitely my top 2. This is definitely number 3. Bad Ideas Comics. They did Planet Death, I think, and at the end of Planet Death or Death Planet, it's one of those 2. There was a preview for this, and it made me interested. In issue 0, they kind of go over it a little bit, but there's a group of kids and they're out camping, and their parents brought them out there to tell them that they're vampires. And the kids don't take that very well. And, there's a big fight, and the kids are like, yell at the mom to just get away, leave us alone. And the kids, I'm used to pushing up my glasses. The kids separate from their parents, and then, later that night, they're like, oh, we should go back and go talk to them. And when they get back, something's happened to the parents, and the kids kind of have to step up and take charge of their own destiny, per se. And at the end, you kind of find out that there's a group of humans that are assigned to go hunt and kill vampires. And these vampires specifically are a little bit stronger and can procreate and create babies, unlike regular vampires. So there's a lot going on in this, and I definitely recommend it. The art is gory and just like it draws you in, and I really love this. I'm interested to see where this story continues to go, but I definitely recommend Cul-De-Sac. Next up, we got Blink and You'll Miss It by Boom Studios. This one has a lot of potential. It's about a girl who ran away when she was young, but now she's come back to the town she ran away in. And there's something off about the town. And she's kind of narrating as she's walking, like she thinks there's something wrong, but she doesn't know what it is. And you're not really sure throughout the whole issue whether it's like horror or sci-fi, what kind of genre this is going to fit into. And then the very last panel, there's like, I don't want to ruin too much of it, but there's definitely going to be something like horrific going on with the town. And it's kind of like, ghosts, demons, ghouls, that type of thing going on. So I'm definitely interested. I think, this is an issue 1. I think this could have been an issue 0 maybe. But I'm going to keep picking this one up and see where it goes from there. Because I really like this issue and I think it gave a lot of potential to go into the series. Next up, we got Return to Skull Island from Titan Comics. Issue number 1, I actually really liked. It was them on Skull Island. This one, the girl's been removed from Skull Island, but she's not really fitting into regular human society. And she's trying to get back to Skull Island where she was kind of raised, or maybe grew up, not raised, but grew up. And it just this issue didn't work for me to the point where I think I'm going to be dropping this series. If you continue reading it, I'm sure it'll get better. But I have so many comics that I'm reading right now that like a story that's kind of like a slow burner, and I don't have any like real interest. I like King Kong stories, right? But I don't know, it's not grabbing me. The girl is fighting to get back to Skull Island, and at the end, the family's like, all right, we're going back to Skull Island, and then it's like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you heard it here first, I'm dropping it. But if you like this, I'm sure, there's plenty of reasons to keep reading it. It's just not working for me. And speaking of not working for me, Tramps to the Apocalypse, issue number 2 from Dark Horse. Number 1, was kind of all over the place, and it allowed you to kind of gain interest in what the story could be. This one kind of hyper-focuses on, like, what the girls are doing. And it's kind of a bland story. Bland everything about it. There's nothing standing out to me, nothing giving me a reason to continue reading this. The girls are trying to find something that the guys have, and it's kind of like, the boys are stinky and the boys this, and then the guys have like a superpower where they can get shot and it doesn't bother them, and like I don't know. I'm gonna be dropping this 100%. So you also getting dropped. I gave them both 2 runs or 2 issues. It's not working for me. If you're enjoying it, continue reading it. Don't let me tell you not to read it. And if you see it on the shelf and, you really want to get it, pick it up and give it a shot. You might like it. I don't know. But again, these 2 getting dropped. Quick recap. Blink and You'll Miss It, issue number 1 from Boom Studios. Thought it was a pretty solid issue 1. Same thing with Cul-De-Sac from Bad Ideas. Pretty solid issue number 1. I'm interested to see where those goes. Neither of those are on the chopping block. Both of them were good enough to definitely go to 3. Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone. Definitely, I thought this was a banger first issue. I'm excited to see what the Godzilla human hybrid is going to do. And the Sisterhood, this is a must read. If you're not reading it, go get it. Pick it up. Whatever you got to do, read it online. Whatever you got to do, read Sisterhood. But even if you're not going to read my recommendations, or even if you are going to read the ones that I told you not to get or recommended not to get, I'm not telling you not to get anything. Pick something up, read it, stimulate that mind. Have a great day.